Live trading GBP JPY during the Asian session, as always. Starting on the 4 hour time frame, seems like we're converging across highs and lows. Price is consolidating a bit, which would be an issue because we're on such a high time frame here. The 4 hour really doesn't matter that much. Breaking it down to the 1 hour, we've got a little more here, so we can quite clearly see price is trending upwards. If we mark it out, we've got lows here. Looking at this, price seems pretty bullish on the 1 hour time frame. We've pulled into what appears to be a bit of an order block within this and rejected off. Zooming in, we haven't actually broken structure properly. Break structure level is just here. As you can see, price did reject. Haven't broken structure. Let's read into the 30-minute time frame. Have we broken structure? Not really. Again, bit of a weak push up. No proper breaks of structure. We had a break of structure to the downside here. Other than that, short term, we're looking bullish. Expanding it out, looking at this higher section here, we are bearish. That's putting me on a higher time frame bias as long. Now if we dig into the 15, we have an order block within this range here. Just here, there we go. We have had a fantastic rejection off of it. Literally couldn't get any better than that. So what this is telling me is price is ready to reverse, continue upwards, create a high based off of this higher low. On the 15-minute time frame, we did have breaks of structure to the upside consecutively. Now we're looking at breaks of structure to the downside more recently. If we look at the 5-minute time frame, we have another order block within the market here. And along with this order block, we also have equilibrium within the order block. Now, this is these are two confluences that align with each other, telling me that price could retrace and continue upwards. So, for example, if we pulled into this order block and broke structure to the upside, I would be very happy going long, as we've retraced to the 0.5, which is typically enough of a retracement before continuing upwards or downwards in whichever direction. Plus we've got the order block. In terms of the reverse, I don't really see too much for shorts. This seems to be like a pretty strong level for the break, for the order block, which we saw back here. So my plan going into this session is to wait for the market to pull back into the 0.5 and the order block, reject, break structure, enter a long position with probably targets up here and maybe a second target higher up. We'll have to wait and see how price moves. Pulling back to the 30-minute again, we do have liquidity resting in the market here, which we would probably want to take out before reversing or pulling back any further. So that could be a pretty good take profit 2 if we had take profit 1 at the top of these more recent highs, and take profit 2 at this liquidity. In terms of liquidity in the market, we have liquidity resting down here, which isn't ideal for our order block unless this 30-minute candle finishes bullish, at which point liquidity will be resting here instead of here. That would be a much better scenario because we can have the liquidity sweep into the order block and the 0.5 and then continue upwards rather than having to wait for price to break through the order block and the 0.5, reject, and then sweep liquidity. Okay, well, we have just opened the session and the best possible thing happened. As I said before, liquidity is now here because we made a new high. Literally couldn't have a better setup than this. It's looking absolutely perfect at the moment. Just got to wait for the sweep to break liquidity here, continue downwards a little more into the order block and the 0.5, get a break of structure to the upside and we'll be in. Market's moving nicely. We've just swept liquidity and also pulled into the order block and the equilibrium. Hopefully now we can create a little high, pull back, break structure and enter a long position. We've had a pretty strong reaction off the order block. Seems like we have actually bounced slightly off this upper order block that we've got here. Not to worry though, hopefully with a bit more momentum we can pull through and it shouldn't be an issue. Just got to wait for this high to be formed and then we can take it out. So we've had a second retest into the order block, another rejection. We've created the high, as you can see just here. Got to wait for a break of structure now, and we can enter. So we just broke structure to the upside, and I'm in a long position right now. Stops are just below the recent lows. Targets are going to be at the bottom of this order block here. Take profit 1 will be at the bottom of the order block, if we mark that in. And take profit 2, I haven't quite decided yet, but it will probably be around this area here. So I'm now searching for where to put TP2. As you can see, take profit 1 is just in the 5-minute order block here. Take profit 2 we could either put at the liquidity or we could put it below the order block. Now we've got the 15-minute order block here. So we could put take profit 2 just at the bottom of that. So we've got this 15-minute order block we've retraced into. Down here, we've just made a slight touch of it. Hopefully we can get a proper rejection off of it and a continuation upwards. Okay, so I'm going to go to bed soon because it's getting late. But what I'm going to do is wake up tomorrow morning and film using bar replay. So I can go back to as if it was tonight right now and walk through the trade, see what happens. Obviously I'll already know what had happened, but it gives a bit more substance to go through and analyse what happens while it happens as if I'm in the live markets. So it's the next day, and as I said, I'm going to go through the trade on bar replay, explaining what happened as if it's in real time. Obviously it's not, I know what's happened, but yeah, let's get into it. So starting off, we had this rejection, which was off of the 15-minute order block, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it was. This order block here we rejected off of and broke structure to the upside. Following that, we then pushed up and looked to take out these highs here, which we did, and then had a pretty strong rejection off of. At this point I was a little bit worried as to whether we just swept the liquidity that was resting in the market here and then we're going to make a retracement back. So I moved my stops to be just below this order block here in the 15-minute time frame. We had some pretty good wick rejections to the downside, indicating there is still buying pressure. So eventually price did come up, as you can see, hit take profit 1, at which point I moved stops to 0, and then about 2 minutes later I then placed my stops just in profit around about here, and I'm marking them in red so you can see that. So I had my stops around here. We came down, got stopped out in profit. So in total, on the first position, we hit take profit 1 with around 1,900, a little bit more than that. And then we got stopped out at just over $200 in profit. So in total, we made just about $2,175 off of this trade.